Hi, it's Dustin with Retro to Fix again here today, and we have a Game Boy Color that came in that does not have any power. So we went ahead and we put some batteries in it, and we put a game in it, and we're going to go ahead and turn it on. As you can see, when we turn it on, we get nothing on the screen and we get no power light. So we're going to go ahead and look into this and see if we can figure out what is causing this issue. So we'll take our game and our batteries out. The first thing that we need to do is we need to take the cover off of the back. In order to take the cover off, you have to have a tri-wing screwdriver set. We happen to have one ready to go here. So we're going to go ahead and take out the 6 screws that are needed to be taken out for the back to come off. Okay, we have our 6 tri-wings off, and now you can see that we have the exposed board here. Typically, what I find when you have a power issue on a Game Boy or Game Boy Color, you're going to find that either there's a lot of corrosion on these connectors right here that connect to the battery, or you're going to find that this capacitor right here is blown. So what we're going to do is we're going to inspect these connectors under the microscope and see if we see any issues there. If we don't see any issues there, we're going to pull off this capacitor here and we're going to test it. So we'll go ahead and bring over our microscope here, and we're going to look at our contacts for the battery here. They actually look really nice to me. I do not think that is our issue. So I am going to go ahead and pull off this capacitor here, and we are going to test it with a voltmeter. So we'll grab some tweezers here, and we'll just go ahead. This is a surface mount capacitor, as you can see, so we're just going to heat up the 2 sides, and we're going to pull this off and we're going to test it because you can't test capacitors while they're in a circuit. So let's get our soldering iron out and let's go to work. Okay, we have our capacitor removed, and now it is supposed to be a 100 microfarad capacitor. So we're going to put this on capacitance and we are going to test this capacitor. Typically the tolerance on these is either 5 or 10%. So we'll go ahead and put the leads on each side of the capacitor. It should be 100 and it's coming in at 132. So 132 is pretty far out of tolerance. So I'm going to go ahead and grab another capacitor, and we're going to put that on, and we're going to see if that fixes our problem. Okay, we have our replacement capacitor right here. This one is slightly taller, but with the Game Boys it doesn't matter too much. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to tin it up a little bit. So we're going to put a little bit of flux on each one of these legs, and we're going to put a little bit of solder on our soldering iron tip. And we're just going to tin up these legs a little bit and put a little dab of solder on each of these legs. The reason why I do that is it just helps them to bond to the board a little bit easier. So now we're going to go ahead and put our capacitor back on. make sure that you put the negative leg on the negative and the positive on the positive. The negative leg is the one that has the black line on the side here. That lets you know it's the negative side. So we'll go ahead and we'll put that back in, attach the negative to the negative. And the positive to the positive side. Everything's nice and attached. I'm going to add a little solder because I feel like there's just not quite enough solder there. So I'm going to add a dab of solder on each side, make sure we get good connection. Okay, good there. And a little dab of solder here. And we're all good there. Okay. Our new capacitor is on nice and tight. So we're going to put the back cover back on. We're not going to tighten anything up because we're just testing right now. So we'll put our back cover back on. We will slide our game in, grab our batteries, and put both of our batteries in. And hopefully when we turn this on, we will see that the light comes on and the system is good to go. Turn it on. As you can see, power comes right on. Our game comes right back up. So we have fixed this Game Boy Color. That was a nice, easy, quick fix. Stay tuned for more videos.